Terminator Dark Fate dropped its first teaser trailer today. This is, of course, the sixth Terminator movie in the franchise, but this time James Cameron, the guy who's responsible for Terminator 1 and 2, the classics of the franchise, is back to be a producer. Now, it's interesting because Terminator 3, when it came out, kind of retconned T2, because in T2 the whole theme was no fate but what we make, but Terminator 3 had the opposite theme, which was the future can only be postponed, it's inevitable. So it changed the whole theme of Terminator 2. Then Terminator 4 kind of built on that, but then Terminator Genisys kind of erases the third and fourth movies. You know, that was the fifth one, and in that movie they made a new timeline and had a whole different outcome from the other Terminator films. Very much subversion of expectations, but not really in a good way. Here we have Terminator Dark Fate, which is not only the return of Sarah Connor after we hadn't seen her since Terminator 2, really, but also this movie erases 3, 4, and 5. So 5 erases 3, kind of didn't really erase it, but 3 kind of ignored the themes of 2. 5 erases 3 and 4. Now 6 erases 3, 4, and 5. So this is a new timeline, a new canon where it's Terminator 1, 2, and now Dark Fate. Now this trailer was really interesting because we saw some new things and some familiar things, and I find it interesting that this movie's going to be erasing the previous few Terminator films, but there are so many things in this trailer that have borrowed from the last few films. There's a character in this movie who thinks that they're human, but they're actually in fact a Terminator. This is the same thing they did with Marcus in Terminator 4, in Terminator Salvation, that he thought he was human when he wasn't, even though he had the memories of the real Marcus. It wasn't really him. Then also in this trailer, we have like a new kind of Terminator who seems to be an evolved version of the T-1000, but he can do new things. Reminds me a lot of the one that was in Terminator Genisys that wound up taking over John Connor's body. So we're seeing kind of things again. We have an older Terminator played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, an older character that looks like a Terminator. I'm not really sure who that is, what model. We don't really know based on the trailer, but obviously it's going to be a Terminator. And again, or it seems that way. Again, we're borrowing ideas from Genisys. There's going to be a new timeline now, probably more time travel shenanigans. Cyberdyne Systems was actually, well, not Cyberdyne, Skynet still happened, so it's almost like they're rebooting again, but I feel like this franchise has kind of run out of ideas in a way. That's the way I feel, but I could be wrong. The trailer looked good. The special effects, I think, were on point. Seeing Linda Hamilton back and being a badass reminded me of what they did with Jamie Lee Curtis in the Halloween film, where she is older, of course. She's definitely not a spring chicken like she was in T2, or like Jamie Lee was in the old Halloween films back in the day from decades ago, but she's still a very capable and strong woman, and she's obviously one that has PTSD due to all the BS that she went through in her life dealing with the Terminators and dealing with trying to survive. And the interesting thing about this trailer, conspicuous by his absence, is where's John Connor? I see nothing of John Connor. Now, I have not read any articles or anything talking about spoilers, but I see nothing here about John Connor doing anything at all. We do have a new Terminator, and he has, like I said, it's like a liquid metal thing, except that when he mutates, like his whole body kind of goes back to that Terminator form, and then we have the scene where Linda Hamilton steps out of the car, playing, of course, Sarah Connor, with the big-ass guns, and she's going to be the protector in this film, much like she... it's just going back to basics here with her being alive. So obviously, if you watch Terminator 3, you know that she passes away. I think they said of cancer in that movie. She's alive in this version, and she recognizes the other main character in this film, played by Mackenzie Davis. The main, I guess, regular characters are Danny Ramos and Miguel Ramos, played by Natalia Reyes and Diego Boneta. Now, Gabriel Luna is in this movie playing this new Terminator who they call Rev 9. He actually can split into 2 different units, both liquid metal and his skeleton form. And they're trying to terminate Danny Ramos, but we don't really know why. See, why would they terminate her if the target was always John Connor and, of course, Sarah Connor? But apparently John Connor is in the film. Like, he's in the movie. We just don't see him in this trailer. I didn't see him in the trailer. I missed it completely if he was there. But as a fan of this franchise, I love this franchise so very much. but I feel like Terminator should have ended a long time ago. I feel like they should have just done the future war and just moved on. You know what I mean? They should have just moved on from that and wrapped it up and showed, Kyle Reese going back in time and ended it. But, they still see legs in this franchise, and it is a great franchise. I mean, like I said, I love Terminator. It's just, I'm going to go see the movie, but I'm very cautious because the last few have not really done. I mean, I thought Salvation was great. I actually thought that one went in the right direction that I wanted the franchise to go in. Genesis, I actually liked when I saw it in theaters, and the more I rewatched it, the more I disliked it. It's got a lot of problems, but overall, I was impressed by the trailer, but again, nothing really new going on here, so I'm hoping that the movie winds up just being good. At this point, I just want to be entertained, and that's like the only thing I can really ask for is that. But it's good to see the old cast back together one more time. Anyways, that's it. That's all I got for you. Let me know in the comments what you thought about Terminator Dark Fate, and I'll talk to y'all in the future. I'm probably going to have more discussions about this coming up.